Hi, and welcome back to Eco Cosmetics Lab. In this episode, we will be making a brightening serum with intense moisturizing properties, a light skin feel, and a sensory-driven watery texture. And this is great for the glass skin trend as it provides brightening. So the main ingredient is sterile water at 75.5%. Then we have a humectant, so something like glycerin. We'll need a gum for thickening. I'm using a blend of xanthan and acacia Senegal gum, but just xanthan is totally fine. Then we'll want to add a nice light oil, something not too greasy. We will need an emulsifier to blend the oil and water together, and I'm using TEGOCare PSC3, which is an all-natural emulsifier from Germany. Our brightening active today is a really great ingredient called crystallide, which contains a biohighlighter peptide. It's moisturizing and promotes crystal skin. And finally, our preservative, which is Cosmos and EcoCert certified, called GeoGuard ECT. The first step is to weigh our humectant. I'm using 2% glycerin and 3% sodium PCA. But you can also just use glycerin at 5%. Sodium PCA is a humectant that naturally occurs in the skin and is very hydrating. It may help the skin to retain moisture and give your skin the appearance of hydration and reduced flakiness. It's derived from naturally occurring ingredients such as plants, fruits, and oils. So the next ingredient we're adding at 0.5% is Solagum AX. You can just use pure xanthan gum also. So Solagum AX is a 100% natural thickening and stabilizing polymer containing acacia Senegal gum and xanthan gum. It dissolves quickly and is non-sticky, non-stringy, and provides a fresh aqueous sensation. It has a wide pH range stability from pH 3 to 8 and forms clear aqueous gels. So we just want to slurry that together with our humectant. And next we're going to be pouring our distilled water into the metal bowl. And we just start stirring and mixing our slurry in with the water until it forms a gel. You'll see it slowly start to thicken up. And then we want to heat that to between 75 and 80 degrees Celsius. Next up, we're going to be weighing the oil phase of our serum. For the emulsifier today, I'm using TEGOCare PSC3, which is a natural emulsifier from Germany, derived from 100% plant-based raw materials. It has good compatibility with active ingredients and electrolytes, and it's designed for stable emulsions between 3.5 and 8.5 pH. And the recommended use rate is from 1.5 to 3%. So one of the light skin feel lipids I'll be using today is Citropol 1A. It's a natural and biodegradable silicone replacement. It's a low molecular weight liquid polymer that is made from terpenes derived from the forest. It results in slippery, silky formulation, and I'll be using that at 7%. The next oil I'll be using today is raspberry seed oil. It has a high content of essential fatty acids and is a rich source of tocopherols, which hydrates the skin and leaves the skin feeling soft and smooth. So while we're heating our water phase up to between 75 and 80 degrees Celsius, we just want to keep stirring it and making sure that it's not getting too hot on the bottom. And you'll see how it's thickened up into a nice gel. So we'll just take the temperature and make sure it's above 75 degrees. So there we go, now we can take it off the heat. And we're going to check our oil phase temperature. They should both be at the same temperature, 75 degrees. So there we go. And now we're going to add the water. I like to emulsify it in a taller beaker because otherwise it doesn't really work. So I'm going to just exchange it. So I'm going to put it into this cup, and we want to add the water first, and we'll be putting our homogenizer in, and then we're going to add the oil to the water phase. And you just keep blending. Make sure that's nice and emulsified. So you'll see it's creating a nice milky serum consistency. And now we just have to wait for that to cool to below 40 degrees. So now we check the temperature to make sure it's below 40 degrees before adding our actives. And I'm going to add a little bit of Western red cedar, but this is totally optional. I removed some of the amount from the main water phase to account for the extra Western red cedar. But you could add another hydrosol if you want, or just use pure sterile water. I like adding Western red cedar for its microbiome balancing properties. So now to measure our active ingredient. Our brightening active today is called Crystallide, which contains a biohighlighter peptide. It's moisturizing and promotes crystal skin and is good for the glass skin trend. We will be using this today at 3%. So give that a good stir afterwards, after adding. And we're going to check the pH to see which, and we're going to check the pH, and now we're going to check the pH to see, and now we're going to check the pH to see which preservative we should use. So we have a pH of around 7, so the preservative I'm going to use today is called GeoGuard ECT. It's EcoCert certified and is a combination of 4 components: benzyl alcohol, salicylic acid, glycerin, and sorbic acid. So it brings the pH down. So you'll want to check the pH of your product before adding this because you don't want to bring the pH down too low. Today we're adding this at 1%. And just give it a good emulsify after adding. And that's it. We're going to keep it scent free today. I added some scent with the Western red cedar hydrosol. And now I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of the vitamin E mixed tocopherols because we have some natural plant oils and I don't want them to oxidize too quickly. And I'll just give that a little stir. So we'll wait for this to come to room temperature again, and then we're ready to bottle. So now we'll wait for it to cool down to room temperature and let the air bubbles settle out. And just put a lid of watch glass on. All right, so now we're ready to pour, so just give it one more final stir. And because of the shape of the beaker, it has a spout, so we can just pour it straight from here. And we don't want to fill it right to the top because we still have to put the dropper in. So you want to leave room for the dropper to fit. So just, leave a little bit of headroom. And now we'll put the dropper lid on. And there you go. So now it's ready for the label to be put on. So I just made this label in Affinity Photo. It's 5.5 by 5.5 centimeters squared. So I put the ingredients, the pH, and the date. And I like to put tape over top so that it protects it from any oil or from any debris. Alright, so now we have our very own brightening serum. And it makes a wonderful milky brightening serum that's great for the glass skin trend. For downloading the formula and any more information and links to suppliers, you can go to ecocosmeticslab.com. Thanks for being here, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.